Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's vOLTHA TST. Thanks for joining. As usual, the call is public and recorded, will be shared live on YouTube. So please be mindful of the comments you make and the information you share. Thanks, first of all, thanks, Matteo, for having the meeting last week in my place. I was at the BBWF, first in-person conference since quite some time. It was good. I met a few folks in this community. I was really happy to see them and meet them in person, and there were some good discussions. So I just left this item in here regarding the code freeze to make sure that everybody's okay with it. Is there any standing item against the code freeze on the 26th of November? No? Chip, you have something?
Oh, no. Yes.
Okay. Then thanks thanks for that. We will do this on the 26th of November. Okay. Next up, on the Kafka to gRPC swap, Ken, I believe this is done, right? Is there anything we need to do yet still?
What's left to be done, or any follow-up JIRAs that you raised when we did the merging and things like the product changes, the cleanup. But other than that, it's really like if we're finding any bugs, stuff like that, we're fixing that. But in terms of the Kafka to gRPC stuff, I think that's done.
Okay, good. Then we can definitely close this. The other JIRAs, we can do them as part of the 2.8 release or the upcoming stuff. So, okay, that's good. So I think you're also up for the next topic. Can you do a little bit of a recap of what was discussed last week and some of the updates that we discussed this week?
Yeah, so last week we discussed all the changes, potential changes, and I arranged them under minor change, medium changes, and large changes. And the community agreed to make the minor and medium change for now. The large one will leave it for later on. What it means is there would be a deeper cleanup in the protocols, and that will affect pretty much all the repos. But affect in the sense of it's really more the reference to certain things that will change. But in terms of logic per se, that won't. So it will look as if there's a lot of changes, but it's those changes are not. It's just a renaming, if you want, of certain things. Instead of calling, for example, like a lot of places will make reference to vOLTHA dot something when that package is not really belong to vOLTHA, it's belong to its own package. So those kind of changes will be done, but it's in terms of semantic of things, that's there's no change on the semantic. It's really syntactic changes, but it will look as if it's a lot of change, but it's minor change. And I'm working on it.
Good. I mean, while we are at it, I believe that might as well make all the changes that are needed. So let's just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I recall we had to discuss this removal.
Yes.
So just to give a little bit of brief update to everybody. So what this is effectively, if you guys remember, some time ago we had we introduced the functionality to do software download to the ONU. And we based it on a certain set of APIs. This was in, if I'm not mistaken, release 2.4, 2.5. I would have to go back and check. But then more recently, in the subsequent release, we actually changed the APIs based on the feedback of that first implementation by keeping the code the same, but actually changing some of the outward-facing API. This work was done by Michael, by Amit, by myself, with a few collaboration with other folks. So really now, it has come the time, given the maturity that the new APIs have reached, to actually deprecate the old APIs. These are what Ken is referencing here. The only doubt I have is that with these old APIs, I know were used in an older version of the vOLTHA implementation by NetCenter Telecom to do some update via the OMCI stack present in VAL in the OLT. So I just want to make sure that with Mahir, maybe that these APIs are not used anymore, and you guys have actually switched to the newer version of the APIs.
We're currently, I think, using them. I'm not sure, but probably we are using the old ones still. Perhaps, I mean, with the new merged from our sides, I don't know, it's time, probably it's after this vOLTHA 2.9, we may change it, but probably we're still using the old ones.
Okay, can I please ask you to go and inside the NetCenter Telecom and make sure that A, this is actually the case, meaning that the APIs are still used. B, figure out if the move is something that you can do. Keep in mind that these new APIs are the ones that we suggest in vOLTHA 2.8,
Okay,
which is the LTS version.
Okay, I'll ask for it. And are they, I mean, the deprecated one and the current one are both are in the same proto or not?
Yes, they are.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, they are in the same proto. Pretty much there's two set of protos if you want. There's one set that is the northbound of vOLTHA that any northbound like Volt Cutoff, for example, will invoke. And those there's a bunch of deprecated there, and then there's one southbound from the core into the adapter. So there's those two sets there.
Okay.
So if for now I'm not going to remove them, I'll wait for your response. I'll keep both sets there. But if you tell me eventually that yeah, it's no longer being used, then I'm going to use it both from the northbound and from the southbound.
Okay, I'll check with our guys and get back to you.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Mahir. That's appreciated. But I mean, in any case, I think Ken, you're okay to continue with all the other changes, even if you don't touch these for now, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'm not touching this until I get the okay from Mahir.
Okay, great, perfect. That's good. Okay. So shall we expect a patch upcoming soon so people can actually see maybe some of these changes and maybe some minute details could be decided not to do or things like that, or to do more things like that?
Yeah, sure. Like I'm actually like I already updated the protos, the vOLTHA lib, the core, and I'm going to change the ONU adapter and OLT adapter, and depending on the sum of how much changes it's there in the adapters and the core. I know because the core there's not a lot of code changes going in, so it's easy to really make it like a fully clean one. In the adapters, I found that there's a lot of changes that will be required, and then there's only one thing that I may keep. That's the reference to flows, because flows are in their own package. Currently, we use a public import of flows in vOLTHA. So a few places refers to flows from vOLTHA.proto. Instead of flows, it's from the flow package directly. So it depends. It's if it's a lot of changes, I may keep it as a public import in vOLTHA, in the vOLTHA proto. If not, then I will just keep it as the rest of them without any public import.
Okay, sounds good.
But
Well,
we
if you,
should see some updates this week. I'm going to post the update this week.
okay, great. And if you have already modified the protos, I think that as usual, that's the first one. At least personally, I'd like to take a look at, because I usually do take a look at that one, and when I approve that one, I go and take a look at the other patches.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. Anything else on the proto changes for 10? No? Okay. Then I think we can proceed with the stale state of the TCD. I see that Serkant is not on the call. I can give at least the update that I know, but maybe Mahir, you know more?
Yes, I don't know. I don't have too much updates for this, but Second couldn't, I mean, as you said, join the meeting today, but he sent an update message to me and said that he's waiting for the comments from the CAN for this etcd patch. So
Okay,
that's what I know currently.
okay.
I know there was some comments that he posted the other day, and I replied yesterday, so I'm not so sure whether if there's new comments or not. But I'll double check if there's anything new that he added.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think what you guys could do, you could take it offline and discuss it. I think the good side of things is that we merged the OpenOLT adapter patch. That's good. And Hardik saw improvements in the test, meaning that it was failing for a lesser number of things, which is great. But there was still some stale state due to some stuff in the core. Is that right, Hardik?
Actually, with the last patch provided by Sergeant, things were passing, but I think there were some other comments by Ken and everyone,
Yes.
which needs to be addressed. So once those are addressed, we can try this again.
Yes, I was saying that with this patch already we are seeing improvements. With this one,
Yes,
it's with the combination of these two, it's the full fix.
correct. Yes, yes.
Okay, and there is no update on this scale this issue of a long time to delete the OLTs. So I think there needs to be a Jira to be created. I can create that and also ping Serkant. I'll create this Jira and ping Serkant to make sure that he is that he can populate it or I can populate it. The other thing is that we might need to add this at scale. So this is actually probably 2 Jiras. Okay. Okay. Anything more on the TCD state? No? Okay, then we can go and talk about the OLT app rewrite. Theo, do you want to give us an update on this? Theo, I believe you're muted. Okay, well, I can give the update and then we'll see. So what we're doing is that we're testing it at scale and it passes. We have done some changes that were based on the comments that Yazin from Netsia has given us. So those are very good. especially around the service creation. There was an issue where you could provision a subscriber with multiple services, but you couldn't provision a subscriber and then add a service to it with this new version because of some key that we were using. So now that's fixed as well. And we have the updated patch. Theo also has done the creation of the Kafka events. And as of yesterday, he was testing it on the multiple 50 plus test BBSim job. So maybe Theo, I saw that you unmuted yourself. Any update from that?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. Yeah, so yesterday we made good progresses with the app. I have the 50 tests passing locally. I haven't tried the OpenNU Go test suite yet. There might still be some issue because when I run them on Jenkins, I still see 10 of them passing, but I think it's actually only one, and then the remaining 10 are not executed. So today I'm going to debug why I see this difference in Jenkins and locally. But we should be close to have the full suite of tests passing. So hopefully by the end of the week we can start running the app on the physical jobs as well.
Yes. So please test the OpenNU Go suite as well, because if I remember correctly, there were some issues in the reconciling scenarios. You remember that while we were working at the gRPC reconciliation, there was also discussion around the new app reconciling with the tests that were having some things around that. I don't recall exactly details, but there were some failure in reconciling because of different way the new app does a few things.
Yeah, there is a difference in how the app handles the flows, because when the port goes down, the new app actually removes all the flows, and so there might be an issue when we try to remove the flows on a disabled device. I think I remember there was something with a type profile instance not being there, but for sure, I already have the Jenkins job set up to run the OpenNU adapter test as well with the new app.
Okay, great.
And I believe that set of issue was very similar to the one we were seeing with the ONU enable disable test, because effectively what ONU sees is the same thing whether we are disabling the device or the adapter goes down. ONU sees that the ports are not available anymore. So smoothing one of them out should automatically solve the other one.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Any question for Theo? Any comment? Okay, then if not, let's progress on the final few things, and let's target hopefully the weekend for testing it on hardware.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Mahir, can you give us can you give us an introduction to your document for IPv6 support?
Actually, Serkan is supposed to give the update about the document, and he could not make it to join today, so I think he may go over the document next week, probably.
Okay, that's fine. I would also ask everybody to please take a look at this document while we have it. It's actually fairly documented, very well documented on the things that we need. There are some things in here that we definitely need to work on, especially around the DHCP-L2 relay and possibly some Mac Learning and vOLT apps in ONOS. I don't know about IC in PV6. We need to make sure that we are not hard coding IPv4 in any place in vOLTHA as well. I added also a section on testing because we at ONF do test with IPv4 addresses and IPv4. We expect IPv4 addresses also in the tests. So that might need additional changes, but it's documented here. So I think that's good. Please take a look at it, and I guess we'll go over it next week with Serkan whenever he's available. Okay. Okay. And Mahir, on the VoIP support, is there any update here?
No new updates. Our guys are working on it, and probably a few patches will come next week, perhaps this week. That's all. They're still working on, because I mean, it's a very new workflow and a lot of changes in the ONE adapter code side, you know, so needed to be tested well before patches are updated. And
Yes.
yeah, you know, upstream. So ongoing, Sonia.
I see there is a patch from Odzge that I just put in, that I just added here. So if you can review, I'll also add it to the agenda for tomorrow, the OpenONU Go call, and so we can discuss this. So please have a review of this patch. I still have to take a look at it myself. This just adds the OMCI messages for the VoIP service. So this actually adds all this stuff.
Yes,
Please take
these
a
are all helper functions, you know, to
yes, yes.
definition.
Yeah, this is not yet activated by anything, as far as I understand, by just glancing over the files, but still they need to be reviewed. So I will specifically ask the folks at the OpenONU Go call to review it, but I'd also like the folks here to review it as well. So please take a look at this. And what about the new voice over IP API in vOLTHA for configuring this? I know you were working on it, and it would include also some technology profile API. How's that work? The new proposal? How's the proposal coming along?
As far as I know, Serkan again and Yasin started to work on these APIs this week. So probably they will come with an outcome in the next week or the other, I think. But the thing that I can say is they started to work on that. It's with this new APIs for the vOLTHA and technology profiles.
Okay. Okay, good. I don't see Amit on the call, so I expect nothing to come out of this. But I don't have any update, so we can wait for him regarding the SimPLS support. Actually, let me move it below this so we are doing some proper things in order. Okay, so this technology profile API is related to this one we just spoke about, and that was all I had on the agenda for today. But let me open up the floor and see if anybody has any elements they would like to bring up or discuss while we are here together.
Andrea, about this highlighted question, do you have an update?
This one?
Yeah.
It's a good point. Hardik, Matteo, can you give us some background? I was not here last week.
Okay, so yeah, I think Theo told me about this. Even I haven't joined last week. So, but yeah, I think increasing this uni range from 16 to 255. As such, it's not going to affect the test. As in, the functional suite for Turk Telecom and uh, supports multi-uni. But just the thing is, the way we are iterating over the test, it's going to take a lot time if we are going to test with these many, which I think is not possible on the hardware at least. So I don't know what's the plan to test these many values. Definitely, I
But
don't think we can test on
No,
hardware.
I think that the reason why that could affect the test is that now we have the uni on the first ONU to be 16 and the uni on the second ONU is 32.
Yeah.
If we support
yeah.
255 per ONU, those numbers will change, but I think we're reading those dynamically from
Yeah, that was my question.
Yes.
So I don't think we'll
No, we are not using hardcode values. We are not using hardcode.
Okay, good. So regarding this, so what's the expected change? Is it a BBSIM change where we expand the number of ports?
No, the actual, I mean, changes are in the platform file that affect the ONU adapter Go and also vOLTHA adapter, I think. And probably there may be some changes in BBSIM to test this, perhaps.
I have to check, but I don't think BBSIM actually cares about that.
Probably, yeah,
But
I think the port number is received by BBSIM. It's not set by BBSIM.
Yeah, true.
Well,
Right.
but it should report 255.
Yes.
I mean, at some point,
Yeah.
BBSIM should be capable of doing a ONU with 255 unis. I don't think at the moment it is.
Because the team can set 2,000 imports on an ONU if you want. Then one port.
Sorry, Theo, it's very hard to understand what you just said.
Yeah, so the number of uni is just a configuration parameter. You can set it to can you still hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, sorry. In BBSIM, the uni number is just a configuration parameter. You can set it to whatever you want. And
Okay.
BBSIM will just report that many port VOLTHA. Now, if you set it as of today to something bigger than 16, VOLTHA won't work. But BBSIM can emulate as many uni as you want.
Okay. So the platform
And
file
just to
is
be clear, I've never tested it at scale or anything, but I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work in BBSIM.
okay. And the platform file, Mahir, this is in VOLTHA libgo.
Yeah, it is. With the patch a few weeks ago, we moved it to VOLTHA libgo.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Do we expect you guys to make these changes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. let us give us whenever the patches are ready, then we can take a look at these.
Okay, sure.
So will these have any effect on the uni parameter in the
Theo, it's Theo is impossible to understand your question. You're breaking up a lot.
Oh, sorry. Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. So the unimask parameter in the OpenONI adapter,
Okay.
will that be affected by this change, or is that already big enough to cover the 256 unipores?
That's a good question.
I think it is, but
I
we should
think
double check.
I guess it was big enough. I mean, to cover, 32 bits all with one, So, but I'll
Yeah.
check it. I'll double check it. Okay.
Yeah, I think it is big enough as well, but as something just came to my mind.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
think
I'll
it was.
check.
It was just a 32-bit. It was a 32-bit mask, so it could cover only 32 ports. Well, you can confirm that.
Yeah, I'll check it. It's a good catch, Matthew.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Mahir, please check it. And if it's not big enough, just expand it so that it can cover 255. The one question I have is how this will work at scale, or rather won't work. But that's a discussion for another time, because I'm not sure that we are really ready to do 1024 OAUs by 255 ports each. That's a huge number of ports.
Yeah, I think we don't expect to have, 200 UNIs per port for all of the ports or all of the ONUs. That we don't have this kind of requirements. Probably the operator expects to have some, say, I don't know, I can't say the numbers, but some MDUs that have this amount of UNI. So I think we don't need to do a scale test that all ONUs have 255 units on them.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Yep. Sounds good. Okay. Anything else on this topic? Okay. Okay, then I think again the agenda today was done, but is there anything else that we need to work on or discuss? No. Okay, then if not, thanks everybody. I'll publish the recording as usual, and we'll talk again next week. Please make sure to act on the action items that we have taken, and have a great rest of your day. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.